Getting nerds, we're playing Victoria 3. We're going to finish out our transition to presidential republic today, and that's going to kind of be the big thing. We're going to have Francois Bernadette be the last emperor of Sweden. And Bernadotte. I just realized the emperors are Catholic. Or sorry, well, I mean, they're Catholic, but I noticed that just now as well. But they're French, which I hadn't connected. What I think that means is that this is the line of emperors that is placed on the throne of Sweden during by Napoleon. I think this is the family of Napoleon, but I could be very wrong about that. I've been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. But I think that's what's happening. We should have seen... It seems like the armed forces have gone way down in clout, even though they should have gone up at least a little bit. We should have seen a moderate increase, a modest increase based on the fact that we just increased the size of the armed forces, but apparently not. I also want to call out a few things, which is talk about our overall place in the world. These are the ranking of the countries. They're sorted by overall prestige, which is in this column here. But as you can see, things are not all equal. Countries which are not recognized and which are not fully independent cannot outrank countries that are. Which is how you get the situation where well, no, they can, but they can't become great powers. And then countries that are not independent are locked at even lower levels. So this is how you get the situation where the British Raj is actually an enormous, powerful country, but it is placed 13th, being outranked by countries that are lower on the prestige ladder than itself, like the United States and Prussia. The Ottoman Empire also appears to have lost its recognition. This is what happens when the Ottoman Empire fails a set of goals. I might do that in a subsequent run here, actually. That'd be fun. Try to get the Ottoman Empire goals done. Basically, the Ottoman Empire's got a list of goals that it can complete, and if it fails to complete them, it basically comes into its own as the sick man of Europe, which is a phrase that a lot of people use for the Ottoman Empire. It's kind of how do I say this? It's kind of dubious historical accuracy. Like, it's definitely historical that people called it that. Europeans called it that, but whether or not that was a fair characterization is a little bit fraught historically, is my understanding of the whole situation. In any case, there's a whole event chain about that in Victoria 3, and you can play it out. So, interestingly here, we have, this is a very typical setup. You have Great Britain just sort of vastly outpacing every other country, French Republic coming up second, and Russia third. The United States is typically moving faster ahead than this. And I'm going to take us around and show you kind of the world situation as we go along here. But typically the United States gets going faster than this. Right now, one of the things I want to call your attention to is that we have been growing our economy at a steady rate and are actually... Oh, look at this. That's pretty neat. GDP. Oh, state by state. That's interesting. Neat. I haven't looked into that, so maybe I'll take some more time with that to see if there's more interesting things to look at in there. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all, I haven't really been paying attention to this almost at all. But what I wanted to call out is that if we sort this by GDP, we're actually quite high. We're higher than Prussia, and we're closing in on the size of the United States, and that's really, I'm pretty full of myself about that. We're doing really well, friends. That's what I'm calling out here. Typically Great Britain's first, and so it's first. That's not shocking anybody. But We are doing really well here. So I just wanted to call that out. Now, Prussia is still higher ranked than us because it has a stronger military. Prussia has 52 flotillas and 160 battalions. We only have 100 battalions and significantly fewer flotillas than that. I should recruit an admiral. Let's see. Psychological affliction. Well, that doesn't affect his performance. Not very well liked. He's a reformer. On the other hand, we could place it in the hands of a brave dockyard organizer who's an authoritarian. Well, I don't necessarily want that. This guy's a reformer, so that's pretty okay. We'll put him in command. And do we have another? We got another armed forces guy. He's a royalist, so we don't want that. So we'll just take this guy and we'll promote him, and he'll command our fleet. I'm really excited for this 754,000 individuals becoming more loyal situation. I'm really stoked for that. That's going to be a good time. So, let's take a look at a little bit of what's going on in the world. So, interestingly, the French Republic has taken a bit of Rhineland. Who's in control of the French Republic? This is Chancellor Mathieu de la Drôme. I don't know who that is. He's an historical figure. I have not... If I've heard of him, it hasn't been in a long time. Austria, we have Franz Joseph von Habsburg. He's definitely an historical character. It's a little early, buddy. Isn't it? Or isn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of a later Franz Joseph, but my understanding... I'm pretty sure Franz Joseph is the name of the guy who is the Emperor of Austria when Austria stops being an empire in 1918, but I could be wrong about that. So that's interesting. Russia continues to be a tsardom under Nikolai Romanov. He's 72, so that's probably gonna yield to someone else pretty soon. We see the Ottoman Sultan is a very young man. An authoritarian aligning with the local governors, Süleyman Osmanoglu. I think that's how you say that. I know that the Ottomans start with an intelligentsia guy, but the Sultanate is very, very strong. It appears that two Sicilies have unified with Tuscany and the Papal States, so they're well on their way to forming Italy proper. Love that for them. Let's take a look at Africa here. Great Britain has done some colonizing, but France has done quite a bit of colonizing as well, interestingly enough. And the French have gotten Kenya, which is neat. The United States is continuing its expansion westward. Again, I'm very surprised that they have not outpaced a lot of other countries, although I wouldn't be shocked. Actually, let's double check it. Amazing. Oh, hold on. I gotta get a screenshot of this. This is amazing. Heck yes. Heck yes, President Frederick Douglass. Heck yeah. Anyway, what I was checking was, this war is probably... Yeah, they want Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Guatemala. Arizona, California, and Nevada. So that's, yeah, so the United States is probably going to get its historical borders at the end of this war, which looks like it's definitely going the United States' way. So what we're going to expect is that the USA is going to hike up past a few other countries. After that, it might start to rival Austria. Now again, for prestige, we're rivaling Prussia, but only kind of. And let's see Scandinavia happen. I think we're going to keep our current flag, but we'll find out. I'm very excited about this. Hooray! The Revolution victorious. Sigurd Gildenfeld and the rural folk have proven that the goals of the radical movement are achievable in Sweden. This is not a time to rest and admire our work. How many a revolutionary has not failed to seize the moment, only to find that achievements swept away like sandcastles by the tides of history. Power has slipped from the hands of tyrants, and we must assure that they can never seize it again. The Geldenfeld cabinet will bring even greater liberties yet. 25 legitimacy for 5 years. That's really good. Or our people are a strength, 10% of pops become loyalists. Oh, man. Both of these are really, really strong. I'm doing this. I need these loyalists, fam. Heck yes. Oh, heck yeah. Government is righteous. Sigurd Gildenfeld. Oh, that's wonderful. So, we do have a slight authority shortage. And I think we can stop suppressing the Church of Sweden now. We can go back to having a luxury tax on porcelain. Well, look at all the stuff we can get done now. We could go to commercialized agriculture. The rural folk would be very pleased with this. Let me see. Let me look at the option for that. So the ownership method for homesteading. So currently privately owned, which is 100 aristocrats. Publicly traded is 100 aristocrats, 50 capitalists. So that wouldn't necessarily make the aristocrats weaker, but homesteading would. But the capitalists wouldn't necessarily support homesteading. So maybe we'll leave land reform for now. Proportional taxation, though, is something I would definitely like to achieve in the middling term. Oh, I had a... These guys are all radicals. I think this guy's gonna get booted out. Bjornstjerne Bjornsson. It's gonna make the intelligentsia a little bit radical. If there was a guy I can pull in, Jacob von Holstein, to start a movement for cultural exclusion. Ooh, movement for guaranteed liberties. Don't mind if I do. That's been something that's been on my docket for a while now. We'll get a lot of loyalists this way. And now there's one for cultural exclusion. That's wonderful. Perfect. This is exactly what I would like. Guaranteed liberties is really, really good. It helps you really nail down your radicalization situation. And if guaranteed liberties is high, then you just wind up with an enormous amount of loyalists and very few radicals. And that's just generally a very good place to be in terms of the country staying strong. So, how's the market looking? I could definitely build some more arts academies. And I think I'm going to do that because everyone loves art. And if I don't, the private sector will build just a bazillion of them. I've seen that happen, especially in wealthy countries. So where do we have some unemployment? Actually, we have a little bit of an infrastructure shortage here. We've got anyone built already, but Jutland definitely needs one. Oh. Zealand definitely needs one. Norland. Okay, alright. All those areas are good to go. Let's see. These academies, let's build some of these up in... Yeah, we'll put them in the capital. That's not bad for our financial situation. Let me see. We could definitely use more glassworks. As the need for glass is a constant situation in my plays. We don't want to necessarily have all of them be in Denmark. Let's put a few of them in Jutland. Put 4 levels there. That should be plenty. Should be plenty to build up. I'm gonna I'm gonna focus on the arts academies first, and then do the glassworks later. Let's see. In terms of other resources, I think we're basically good to go. We could definitely use more steel mills. Wonderful. 1 success already. 1 down, 2 to go. We're doing very just fine on iron. So yeah, I think steel mills are going to be the way to go overall, because our steel prices are pretty high. And I know the industrialists will be salty if steel prices get too high. So put a couple levels in Jutland. And a couple in Svealand. You playing? Hey, there we go. The big galaxy brain play is to have, I'll definitely do this, is to be exporting fine art. That's really what you want to do, because you can just have fine art. You can be absolutely lousy with fine art in this game if you really want to be, and a lot of countries will buy it. Basically, any country with a large aristocracy or industrialist class will be absolutely starving for fine art, and you can make a lot of money by supporting that need. So I think the next step we're going to do in terms of increasing our standard of living, which is something we need to do, is going to be to slowly work on automating these various industries. So I think next step is going to be water tube boiler. It says these are not going to be very good for the industry at all. I think that's not correct. Yeah, look at that. Just as profitable as before. In my experience, that's often the case. We're going to do the same over here. And those are even more profitable than they were before. Paper mills. We're going to do the same. They've actually dropped in profitability. That's unfortunate. So, go back to hand assembly for paper mills. They're doing just fine now. All right, perfect. Excellent. So that's very good for us. You still playing? Yes. Ooh, artistic expressions. A popular Danish newsletter has released a statement by Jacob von Holstein, endorsing several poets known for their sympathies to the rural folks' interests. The ideals of love and comradeship are present therein, but when one looks beyond the surface, one is faced with the precise conditions for such a thing, those things which foster the highest ideals and can be made manifest in one's daily life. The idols of Danish culture stand behind our reforms, 7% inadequate chance, where the loyal support of the rural folk should be rewarded. We got 45% chance and no opposition. I'm going to go with this one. Let's make our rural folk a little stronger. Wasn't this at 1:30 something a minute ago? Am I crazy? Go to the next one. My real nemesis in this game is the music player. Not that the music is bad. In fact, the music is phenomenal. But some of the tracks are definitely phenomenal. I will say that. I think the music is excellent. I was thinking about all the games I would say have phenomenal music. I don't know that Victoria 3 is one of them, but I would definitely put it in the excellent category. I would put it in the low 90s out of 100 from a music standpoint. I really do like the music in this game a lot. I think they got a lot of good tracks. So let's see. Steel mills could probably automate as well. Oh, that makes them much more profitable. So I've automated a bunch of industries just now. So let's take a look at my... Let me see, what do I want to build? We're going to need some more chemical plants, friends. Let's go ahead and do it. So we'll look at where we've got labor available. Norland, we've got labor available now. And these are from the automation. So a lot of these people move back into subsistence jobs. Love that for them, but also I want to not have that for them because I would like to employ them. So that should be plenty. In fact, I'm going to dial that back by 1 chemical plant. So don't necessarily need too many explosives. We're exporting quite a few. Excellent. Another success. So hopefully we'll be able to increase... hopefully we'll be able to get guaranteed liberties knocked right out. This building up of new buildings is eventually going to put a drain on our economy. But for now, we can keep going. We definitely need more wood. How are we for hardwood? Hardwood is doing worse than wood. That's just fine. We can get more logging going without any kind of problem. Let's just look at which of our states have that wood bonus. It's all the ones in Sweden proper here. Sweden proper. I don't know what I'm talking about with that. I don't know why I said that. It's all the ones in Sweden except for Scandinavia. It's all the ones in Sweden that are not even close to Denmark. How about that? We got a bunch of people available to work in Jotunland. So go ahead and put 5 more logging industries there. Long term, I think we're going to be exporting quite a bit of logging industries. Wonderful. We've just unlocked gantry cranes. This is a thing I need to quickly do all at once, because things can get hairy if you don't. So, we've got some... First, let me make sure we're not getting too many of our ships from abroad. In fact, we're not getting any of our ships from abroad, so that's just fine. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to grab our shipyards and switch them over to steamships. We're going to make them publicly... We're going to leave them privately owned for now. Just clearing out that notification there. Next, we're going to take our ports and make them industrial ports. We're going to make our naval bases use ironclads for their warships. We're going to make our shipyards produce a small number of military vessels. And then we're going to take our fishing wharves and our whaling stations and have them using steam trawlers. So now we should have... There is someone in our market. But these are steam. I think that's phantom demand. I'm going to unpause that. That should... Ooh. A doctrine of iron and steam. The introduction of vessels with metal-skinned hulls represents nothing less than a revolution in naval warfare. Near impervious to traditional types of shot, Admiral Wilhelm von Fersen assures us that Scandinavian dominion of the seas will be absolute. While wooden ships with iron men might beat iron ships with wooden men, it sure doesn't hurt to have armor on our side. We can get some extra defense out of this. We can get... a ramming focus, or we can get some Navy power projection, and I'm going to do that, because I like having power projection. Another agitator was exiled from another country. I'm not necessarily worried about that. So let's just, again, let's just take a look at the Clippers situation here. Okay, we're good. We have mostly a balance of steamers. What about ironclads? We're very good on that. Alright, so let's export some ships. We can export some ironclads. Great Britain needs a bunch of them, and Prussia needs a bunch of them. So here you go, gents. And then steamers. You have an overwhelming abundance. Sell some to Great Britain. Cool. Slow us down a little bit here. France wants a trade agreement. I'm absolutely up for that. A novel solution. In Christian Isgerson's library is a popular new book with a vision of what guaranteed liberties might look like. Lawyers affiliated with the trade unions say the contents are legally sound. Most of the time, fiction is merely that, something to pass the time. Sometimes a true vision of possibility creeps through. Once in a blue moon, well-written fiction can change how people think. Every so often from there, however, it might be mistaken for divination. We can canvass the public about this light reading. That gives the agitator some bonuses, increases the strength of the trade unions, and gives us some enactment chance. That's tempting. Procure a copy with our compliments to the author. We'll spend £430 on that over the course of a week for 5 years. Maybe we're buying a bunch of copies. We're artificially putting them on the bestseller list. So that's a larger increase to enactment chance, but a smaller increase to the power of the trade unions. Or fiction should remain entertainment. 5% authority permanently. Heck yes. Give me that extra authority. I don't know how much 5% authority really affects things, but that getting it permanently sure does feel pretty good. Alright, anyway, here's hoping we pass it the next time through. That would be just fine and dandy. I've been wanting to get guaranteed liberties for a bit, and we've got a lot of extra bureaucratic capacity, so we can shunt that all the way up to the top of its thing. Again, we have very high, we have overall, because our population's pretty low, we've actually got pretty low bureaucracy cost per investment level, and that's been really, really good for us. Happily, be able to increase all the things you need to increase. We're still working on building up the glass and steel that we need in order to get. Is there a way we can get more coal from somewhere? Brazil is selling coal. I'm going to activate an interest. I have interests over here. Let's try here and here. Iberia. Free-minded Venstra. That's the industrialists moving over to. Yeah, moving over to their own party. That's interesting. The Theoretical People's Party. That's wild. We got the Coffee Talk event again. And Von Holstein again is the landowners guy. Yeah, we'll do this one. Franchise for farmers. On behalf of the Agrarian Party, Kirsten Esgierson has embarked on a tour of various rural and remote regions in Scandinavia, seeking to enroll voters and ensure ballots are collected in difficult-to-reach communities. Nestled at the top of the mountains, in the hearts of dark forests, surrounded by empty plains unmarked on any map, it is here that people are found nonetheless. It is our duty to empower every one of them. Everyone should hear of the Agrarian Party's mission that gives them much momentum. One man, one vote, no matter how remote. Increase the political strength of farmers. Ooh. For 5 years. Ooh. Yeah, I like this one better. We've been, the rural folk have been good to us as a government, and we've succeeded in serving them pretty well. With that having been said, friends, I just want to call out one thing. We've moved up to rank 7. We have passed... Who did we pass? I thought it was going to be Prussia. I thought Prussia was the one who was just above us. But yeah, we're a great power now. And that's really exciting. I'm very pleased with that. The last emperor of Scandinavia has ushered in a new era of Scandinavian prestige and excellence. So, with that, friends, I've had fun. I hope you've had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.